Live stream, live stream, live stream. Let's see if wait for some people to come in here. Well, a couple of minutes. I started a little bit late, but regardless, we are starting now. Just wait for some people to come in. Got a lot of great things to talk about. You know, the importance of focus, the importance of adaptive thinking, and how that played a great role in making some great gains. January, this is January so far. You know, it hasn't been as, we've had great winning gains, but some stocks like Amazon have not moved as much and as fast as I wanted to. But regardless, there are gains to be made. Just requires constant adaptive thinking. Let me take a look here. Hello, Mez. Yeah, just some people not many people here yet. Excuse me. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Maz, you hear me? Yes, good. All right. Very good, Mr. Blink. Thank you. Yeah. I always double check these things. I never trust this 100%. Hello, Sarah Van. So wait for some more people to come in. It was an interesting January so far. So I want to make some interesting comments. I mean, you know, I'm gonna wait for some more people to come in. I'm gonna be hello Eric, hello David. So we've got some interesting things to talk about tonight. You know, I've also, I've seen some things, what some people say and what they do in comparison to what we've done. And it goes to show you how you have to have the right mindset. I mean, this market really, we've moved, but look, you can see for yourself, the SPY has moved positively, but very slow and choppy manner. However, even in the slow and choppy manner, we've been able to make some great gains. We just got I'm going to make a video on that explaining, what we did and how we did it and how we managed everything for the group. But we made some great gains in Amazon. Another winning plan in January in Amazon. We had several of them actually right now. Now, if you notice on my Twitter, I posted in the beginning of the year a few key stocks. We focused on basically what I posted was Amazon, MasterCard. So Amazon, MasterCard, BA, Tesla, and also Apple. But Apple not being the best performer. But regardless, the other ones, especially Amazon, we've had multiple strong winning plans. I wanted to make a lot more in them, but you know what? The market is going to be the market. You have to make adjustments, and I'll be showing the story of that in tomorrow's. I'm going to be posting a video on it tomorrow, so that it kind of updates properly to show it. Hello, Dexter. Hello. Like today, the SPY and not just the SPY, just about anything that was trying to go up, it pulled back, right? But at the same time, when you get the right signals, you take them, they do pay. And sometimes you have to wait two things out. I mean, the market's been choppy, but wanting higher prices. And the end of the story, markets, much higher. You got to realize this, right? We had a low of 234, and it's been a choppy 3,000 point move up. That's what makes it high. Hi, Victor. That's what makes things hard. However, when you have disciplined plans, and again, sometimes, I want to make a point, sometimes, you can be doing all the right things and you don't make the money you're supposed to make, or you even have, some losses That is fine as long as you're doing the right thing. It's when a lot of people, they get into plans, and they don't see it through, or they imagine you get stopped out for the wrong reason, right? Because this is where adaptive thinking comes in, right? And then you watch your stock, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been through this, where they get out of something. It's the way they're thinking, by the way. It is a mental state, and then they watch the stock go up a lot with them missing the gains, and they're saying, I could have had all those gains. I could have had all those gains. Well, the reason why is because you're not focused, right? So isn't it true, people? Have you not been? I think Apple will surprise a lot of people, and if you're just great. Yeah, we're gonna see, because I decided to hold. What I'm doing is holding the options the February calls that I'm in. I mean, they're the one, they're in losses right now, but something good, they can easily turn to gains, and a lot of great gains in BA, Mastercard, Amazon being the best, Tesla along the way have been great. I mean, we've had a high win rate in January within a very select few picks. And that is something that a lot of people can't do. You have these so-called services, they're throwing out pick after pick after pick, but they're not really in those picks, right? It's easy to say something, right? Like, you have these people say things, oh, this went this, but then we didn't go into it. Well, it went there, but you're not in it, so what good is it? If you're not in the plan, what good is it? There's this guy, he goes, oh, the BA options went to such and such and such, but we missed the move. Why? I mean, it was a great. That's what I'm getting. A lot of people don't realize there's a lot of false people out there, and I'm going to be showing that in my YouTube. A lot of the winning plan videos, I show plans from start to confirmation to end. And I mean, you've never seen anything like that. And then I'm also doing something new now. Is what I'm showing some extra things that I've been doing in my group of how I manage things, and just showing that, and having what happens when even when you have the big picture, how management needs to be sometimes taken because of adaptive thinking. The market is a changing entity all the time. This is why people who project certain things, I always give you targets, but I always say, as long as certain things are met. And if there's a problem, are we going to fight the market? And the answer is no, you don't want to fight the market. Hey, hi, Max, how are you? So what was I saying? Just fine. Great, great, great. So what was I saying about the SPY? Well, again, you can see with the market, we had some good moves, and it's been, as you can see, and yet we've had great gains. Again, today, a lot of stocks were subdued. So strong confirmation, strong movements, meaning that things can still move. But it's, again, with options, it's time, right? And that's the problem. Is sometimes that you're going to get things that you have to hold, or you have to make adjustments in your options. And I've been showing that with with our key stocks, and we're documenting that. So what was I going to say here? So Amazon, yeah. So look, I'm going to be making let's put up Amazon here. Let's talk about Amazon. So we've had plans for Amazon. Now Amazon, I'll be honest, I mean, even though it's made a great move, we've made some gains, even its action has been slow, but it's the action of the market itself. It's been like the market is going up and it's not. It's going up at a very choppy manner. I mean, even yesterday, Amazon, it was work. In order to catch this gains that we made about 300% gains in Amazon today. I mean, I was looking for way more, but the market didn't give it. There's a reason. When our stops were hit, I made adjustments. This is going to happen. There's always re-entering. We tried our best, right? And this is the difference, is where a lot of these people, they claim to make these gains, but They can't even hold their plans. And I've witnessed this. I've seen this. Stuff that was easy. Amazon wasn't easy to hold, by the way. And we cut 300% gains. It wasn't easy to hold. But my calls, and I demonstrated in the group, and I'm making a special video on this showing exactly how we made these 300% gains. And this is real skill I'm showing here. Real skill. Skill that's not around out there. There's people that talk, but they don't do it. I know, I've been seeing some key things, people saying things, but then they admitted that they didn't even catch those trades. Well, we did. There's a difference. Here's the message here. When you do the right things, right, and I'm kind of demonstrating it, it doesn't matter. One of the reasons why people miss gains is they don't adapt. This is a big problem out there. The market one week could be like this week could be tough, very choppy, but the next week trades act smooth. So what's the solution? The solution is to adapt, but always act. What I always try to do is try to catch our gains. We are trying for our targets. And you can even see from a video I made, you can even hear that I explained this. Right? It's not like I explain it, but the difference is, okay, I explain it, but I have a system that adapts and works with that. And actually that's my study and focus, right? Because the number one problem for a lot, even people with service, it's psychological. Like I said, for a service that doesn't get into their own plans, okay, which is a lot of them, it's easy when you don't get into your own plans. It's easy to tell people, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You're going to put 20 plans out there. What I do, the difference between me and a lot of services out there is those plans I want to get into. I want to get into my own. I get into my own plans. So I know what's going on. That's why I make the recommendations that I do. Now you can't do that when you don't have real intentions in there, right? And because if you're trying to make those gains, right, not just for yourself, but for the people that are liking what you're it's not the same thing, right? You have to be focused, and that's the difference between me and these other services. There's no listen. That's why on my YouTube channel I keep explaining this to people about my and I'm gonna show this here. So let's go quickly to my we're gonna go to my give me a sec here. We're gonna go to my my YouTube channel, and just because this is in these live streams, part of it is an education to my group, to say some things and answer questions, but it's also to help other people. Well, give me 1 second here, people. I just gonna get this out of the way so I can get this set up so this page is set up. Well, this is how I see it but everyone will not see it like this. But what I have here is called a created playlist, okay? And you can see here are the last BA plan here, okay? Now, that was 300% gains in January. Now, on top of us catching the gains, it's all documented, it shows you from start to end. You can see on my Twitter page, this is what, and I proving, like I wanted to make a point this year, why I posted these, because I put a lot of passion behind these picks. You can see on January the 7th, I talked about, well, now that's Tesla, sorry, not then, sorry, before that. So here, December the 30th, okay, that's when everyone was kind of down with the market, and there's a lot of negativity. But you can see I posted BA, MA, and there's Amazon as well. Where is the Amazon? Oh, here it is, right? And Apple as well. Now, you can see that out of all these four, right? And then also Tesla was posted in the group. So within 5 stocks, 4 of them did very, very well. Apple did not do well from this due to a political situation. But what I'm saying is, you can see that I put, in fact, all my plans have gone higher. Like if we put up the Amazon trade over here, you can see where Amazon was 1,476. So we've had 3 winning plans in this already. Okay, and then you can even see BA, where, and you can see BA's and where BA was. BA was $316. So you've seen, I posted the plans before the fact, but the confirmation and inside of Power Group Trades was in Power Group Trades, right? And so what I did is I posted a plan, then the confirmation inside of Power Group Trades, and then the outcome, right? Telling people about taking profits and putting stops or whatever. And that is a big difference. And you notice I focused on quality and not quantity. There wasn't 20, 30, 40 picks like some services do, which you can't get into them all, right? It was quality. And the win rate in the quality was very high. And we're talking about hundreds of percent gains, holding positions properly. Not because look at, if you get into a position, and I know a lot of people get into, let me put up the thing. So what you want to do, by the way, let me go quickly to my, let me go quickly to here. What you want to do, people, is you want to study this created playlist. You can see here, there are 9 videos here, 5 videos, 10. There's videos and videos and videos. These are older, but you'll see the same process over and over and over again. You want to study all this stuff. So here you have SPY to 300. Right? Or you have all these videos here. There's all these are all other videos. There's just so much information, and here's on the health and stuff like that. You can check that out as well. I did some little series of that. I'll be doing more in the future. And then of course you can see there are other live streams, what I said in the outcome. And let me just bring this over here. So you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course in this live stream I even explained. Now, but by the way, there's a video on Power Trigger Trade. You know, it's like, look, if someone's really serious, like I keep saying this, it's all about serious. But there's a pin tweet here, right over here, pin tweet video right over here, right? This pin tweet video, okay? See when you tweet, yeah. This pin tweet video over here, right over here, the top, it explains how to become a member inside Power Group Trades, okay? So again, inside this live stream, there's information on how to become a member inside of Power Group Trades. Of course, it's pinned. It's all like, if you think about it, if somebody really wants something, the information is very clearly. Unlike, I haven't seen anybody do anything set up like this, and I've proven the point. I tell you that most people are destined for failure because they don't really have what it takes to succeed. You know, when you have someone guiding you like this, step by step by step, what can I tell you, right? I've made it pretty much dummy proof. But trust me when I tell you, people, lots of dum-dums out there. I have to tell how it is, dum-dums. A lot of dum-dums out there. I have to tell it how it is. And it's about quality in me, not quantity. You know, that's why I said you're not going to see me as a big channel, a big anything. It's the quality, people. I know I've demonstrated this, you know, with the gifts I received. You know, and the quality of those gifts and the quality of those people are an example of that. But these are still a small minority of the population. Most of these people, those are people that will go somewhere in life, and the majority of the people out there won't, simply because they don't take the time to. Even if gold is shown upon their right in front of them, they won't see it. They're blind, so they live their life in mediocrity because they don't want to make the changes. Like, basically all my channel shows you is, look what we're doing, get inside the mood, and when you want to take action, you take action, but don't come into that group unless you're serious, and make sure you take a look what I'm doing, right? Because if you don't understand what I'm doing, how are you supposed to succeed? And there is no cost to do all these things, you know, but the time involved in making these videos that I made with the intro screen, it's a lot of time. But you know what? It's there for a reason. It's helpful. I find it'll be helpful to the right person. And again, it's directed to the serious people. You know, it's not entertainment. It's serious information. It's information that shows you can make great gains in options if you have the right mindset. And part of being in my group is I have, you know, you're active. It's helping you see for yourself. A lot of people just don't look at what's going on. They don't look at what happened. I do this all. Look at, in order to develop anything, I had to study what went right, what went wrong, why this, why that, why this, why that, why that. And I was able to quantify something and then make rules and build upon, build upon, build upon those things. This takes a lot of time and study. And a lot of people think that you can read it. It doesn't matter how many books you listen. You're reading book. You like every book you read. Everybody has a different opinion. Right? So what I do is I show you an idea, an ideology that works, and that works consistently. You know, but there's something to it that you can't. It's not doesn't come from the book. It comes from an observation and something, you know, different, that I get new information. Like every day the market gives new information. Why did something do this? What do I got to do to make that change? And so on and so forth. You know, it's adaptive thinking. And everything out there is too stagnant. You got to take in the new information. What did the new day bring? You know, and I'll give you an example. Let me bring up the SPY here. So, you know, when the SPY did what it did, right, and our stocks, for example, you know, they pull back. We know why. We know the market. So that is an information, because easily the market can easily go can go right back up, right? Now, let's say our stocks don't go up, and the market did do well. Then there has to be some sort of, okay, what do we need to do? And you have to make, and again, I have to look at things. And that's what I mean by an adjustment, an adaptive thinking. You know, you have to change. You have to make changes sometimes. Maybe I have to hold a little bit better because it's holding up well, but it's not moving enough. And so it was like even with Amazon yesterday, like Amazon's movement, it was bullish yet wasn't bullish, yet wasn't moving enough, yet was holding key supports. And if we didn't hold it properly, and I even said it in the group, right? Amazon, AMZN. If we didn't hold it properly, we wouldn't be able to catch the 300% gains. And I'm going to show the video tomorrow. I'm going to be making the video. It's going to really explain everything, like from start to end, and how I handle things. And it's going to be very informative. But like I said, success comes to people who really want it. Right? If you're not going to take the time to study my created playlist, to understand what I'm about, how are you supposed to succeed? If you're just looking for somebody to tell you, you do this and you do that, and you don't want to understand why you're doing things, I mean, any professional person will tell you, you need to know what you're doing a little bit. You need to have an understanding. And that's why I even do these live streams, to go over things, to talk about things, because it's a psychological part of this game. Now, no matter how good a method is, if your psychology is off, you will miss out. I assure you this. There's no way around it. Let's take a look here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is Amazon going higher tomorrow? Well, Amazon big picture definitely is going higher. Like I explained, Amazon's pullback was due to market conditions. I mean, just about almost any good stock. I mean, they pulled it. I mean, and Amazon is look, is as quick as Amazon pulls back, it can rise very rapidly. I mean, in fact, that's what it's done. It just hasn't been really as rapid, and that's what's going to happen. You know, the market is, but Amazon is such a fast stock that in one day, especially in the right option, this thing moves fast enough. Like it has 100 point swings, 100 point in the right direction, and you're properly positioned, you can make comebacks. I mean, we've had examples of options looking like they were, and then they came back to life, making great gains, right? Simply because we held them properly, or I made the right options choice, whatever it is. And sometimes, by the way, It depends. A weekly is good. It really depends. With something like Amazon, weeklies are good due to the fluctuations. Because with Amazon, if you're right, you're going to get paid. If you're not, you're not going to. You're still not going to get paid, and all the options lose value anyways. So okay, so Apple AEPL. Well, what I said about Apple is, as you see, Apple's been making a comeback, but it hasn't been my focus because I've been in Apple. I'm just holding the options that I'm in. I didn't. What I've been doing with Apple is I think Apple can is going to make a comeback at least. I think at least they're going to take it back to the. It's very possible to take it back to 170, 180. I think big picture, this stock is setting up for a higher prices, but it's going to take some time. Like we need some, like just because we moved up like this, it's not enough information. We need to see how we get back to 170. And I have time. I have the February calls. For me, I'm holding it no matter what because they're already they're already at a loss. But if Apple does do something like something, they say the stock can do something surprising still, and they take it to 180, that fixes the problem up nicely, very nice and quickly. Well, it's a laggard because the problem is different, and it's in the technicals. We failed to hold key levels. They made multiple signals. It was very difficult, but it's the exactly. Notice I did not I have not made any new plans for Apple. What I've said in my other streams, what I said on my other streams, David, is that we're just going to hold it and see what earnings will do because they've set it up in a way where they could easily take it back to 180. It definitely deserves to be there anyways. And for act, they put the negative news out to set themselves up so the stock does go up in earnings. This is what I think because it's not justified where it's at right now. But it's making a recovery at least. That's the good thing. So for me, what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the stocks that have the best potential, and so far so good. We've done pretty good in certain stocks, like the ones very few. I mean, we talked about MasterCard hasn't been no big deal, but it's been profitable. So then you've got MasterCard, no big deal. But what was being the best is being BA, Tesla, and Amazon for us. We've had great winning gains in all those, but Amazon being the best. Like really, it's been the best, but it's also not as fast as I want. Like, and that's the thing is that you have to play a strategy that even when you're right, but when you do the right thing, you can catch monster gains. Like, even when you don't make it's like instead of me making 300, I could have made 600, 700%. Because when you do the right thing, that day will come. But it's when you don't, when you start shifting, and that's what a lot of people do because they don't follow through their plans. And I know this. And BA is an example. There was an option trader talking about BA and had a plan for BA, and BA was actually easy to hold, especially with the rules. And I demonstrated that with a 300% win in it. But you see, my difference was my mindset, my strategy, my plan. You can see my targets and everything, right? These people aren't well planned. They're just throwing out plans. Oh, this is going to do this. There's no heart. You're not really going to succeed that way. When you don't put any real thought into something, and really, when I do, by the way, I really do. I really through my system, I put it through a ringer, and I narrow things down. A lot of people say, "Why did you go not in Nvidia? Why didn't you go in Net?" Because I found that I thought that the other like stocks like BA or Amazon would be better performers. There's a lot of stocks I want to go up, but I still narrow it down, which is part of my process. Is this idea of mine? Is it a high probable trade? Is there a way to make 100% gains? Is it safe? There's a lot of factors that go into it. Good evening, Michael. Yeah, you want to if you coming in now, you miss some good things. So this live stream is you can always listen to it, right? And these live streams you should listen to it, from start to end, a few times, especially new people, because it explains you how to become members at a PowerTarget Trades. It leads you It leads you into all the right things. All the right things it leads you to. Good evening. Yeah, so Netflix is something I have been focused on, and I explained to you why. My focuses have been on, there's only so many momentum stocks like you can be in at once, you know. Amazon being enough, you mean, it's about quality. It's another thing. A lot of people make the distinction of, see, what is, in my opinion, is more important, Amazon or Netflix? In this case, in January, my focus was Amazon and BA, and they've done well for us. Tesla as well, but my focus was really more on Amazon and BA. We had MasterCard. MasterCard did not move as much as it did before. And that's another thing. Sometimes stocks, they decide not to perform. And this can happen sometimes, that the ones that should do well don't do as well as they should. That's right, Dexter. This is true. You know, that is the difference I'm focusing on, is that holding things for the right reason, getting out for the right reason, versus out of fear, there's a lot of people missing gains, and I'm pretty sure I'm talking to people out there that they got into positions and then they got out as soon as it goes a little bit in their favor because it was against them, and then they watch the stock go forward. And the reason being is you don't understand what's going on. You're not adapting to the market. And this is something that's happening to traders year in and year out. This is where I come in with my style. It takes all the psychological out of it, and we focus on the key. Well, how many more of those you have to do? Anyways. All right. So what was I saying here? Amazon. So Amazon, you can see, has made good. It's not being the best mover, but you can see that we've made pretty good moves. I mean, there was a, almost about a 400-point swing. So a 400-point swing, and that was in, and that's why if we would have moved, I was expecting more moves, but we made moves. Here's where we made our gains in this swings here. So here we made our gains, and here we made our gains. And again, this is all documented inside of PowerTarget Trades, and you can see my intentions right on my Twitter page, right? And I did this on purpose to show how we are strong and focused, and we want to catch our plans. We don't want to miss our plans. And the only way to do that is to be strongly focused. You can't win when you're not focused. And then you have to adapt. And the markets doesn't mean the market would have been perfect in January. What if the market was, you have to adapt. See, you can have an expectations, but then things change. Something changes. There's many stocks still not. For example, today, the interesting thing was that, BA, which should have moved, didn't want to move today, and now we see why. It was weird how it was acting, and yet it pulled. It's almost like the stock knew that everything had to rest today or pull back today. I mean, Amazon was taking off, giving us great gains. And I was anticipating on it going to be a 400-500% winner. But we had to make an adjustment. Still was great gains, but this is what it means. You have to make adjustments. You know what I mean? You can't force a thing. Like my targets were those targets, and there's still those targets. Sometimes that's why it comes to other plans. And I have already plans in place because I think Amazon is a strong focus. This is a stock that has a lot of potential. There's strong signals in it, but the market's a market, right? There is no system in the world that can predict something that's going to happen. You have to know the future. So then what do you do? Well, then you have to have strong signal, plans of action, adapting, and then you have almost a crystal ball, because that's how we made these great gains. And the way I document that is incredible. Like, and that's what's the difference on my YouTube channel. It really shows you how this can be done if you have the right mindset, if you have great plans, and that's why you want to be in our group. Right? And you can put your own technical analysis and stuff, but you'll see that you probably wouldn't make the same decisions. Only that with my help, you start getting more and more right decisions, right? Better at it, because you're witnessing it. You know, you're saying, wow, I didn't do that, or I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. Right? Luck, remember one thing, luck doesn't take you so, you only go so far with luck. No, you know, with Goldman Sachs, I think if Goldman Sachs does something good, it's going to obviously help the market. Let me take a look at Goldman Sachs. Wow. That was a great move. Today. See? And that's what's interesting. Why with the bank stocks, isn't that something? That's why the market favors higher, right? But look at this. Look at that move from earnings, right? No one would think this, you know, all the banks. This is why what happens is you get stocks that set up. They're giving movements. And the banks, by the way, the banks doing stuff like this are telling us something. You know, what does the market favor now? Honestly, does the market favor lower or higher prices when you have these comebacks and stuff like GA had ER today? Okay. Well, there you go, for sure. I'm surprised with the banks like Goldman Sachs, and that's why the market's funny like that. Goldman Sachs, strong earnings, and you would think the market would have done a lot better today. You see what I'm getting at, people? There's no indicator in the world that's going to measure every possible problem. This is where adaptive thinking and using rules and your strategies come into play. You know, if they don't come into play, you can't catch anything. So let me see here. So we talked about Amazon, BA. Yeah, we talked about pretty much everything today. Again, the importance of and like anybody out there, if you are having these problems, you have to think to yourself why. And that's why you want to go to my YouTube channel and study my created playlist. Because over there you're gonna get you're gonna see something. You're gonna see there's a mindset. Okay, and you're gonna see a lot of people talk about they made money. They show a spreadsheet of this and that and that. Don't believe in that stuff, because that doesn't show anything. It doesn't show that they went into the trade. It doesn't show the outcome of the trade. Other than it doesn't show that they even had an idea. They just said we bought here and we sold here. Oh, great, fantastic. With a number on a sheet. And what have I done? Individual videos of a plan for plan. So what makes more sense to you for you to believe? What's more focused? Someone telling you, showing you plan for plan, or and we have again our stats show greater than 80% win rate. We don't win on every plan. It's not possible. Not when you're trying to make great gains. Some people say, there's some crazy people that'll say, oh well, we win everything. Okay, then why don't you bet the whole house on? Because if every trade will win, then you can have the biggest size in that trade. See, and that's what people can't do, right? So if you can be 100%, then that means you can put everything on something, right? And that's the problem. You can't, right? So that's why you have to position size things, and you need a strategy, right? Because no system can be 100%. Nothing. If there was 100%, well, think about it. 100%, what that means. You have to, and I keep telling that to people. What does 100% mean? Then all you got to do, if you're 100% correct, is you put everything on the line every single time. And guess what? You're going to be 100% correct, and you're always going to win. But since there's any chance of loss, you obviously have to have a certain size per plan. You want a high win rate, and that's why we need it. But what if things don't work out? You have to take a small whatever, right? This is why, or whatever, you have to take whatever loss you have to take, right? This is why you want to have a strategy. You want to have the right mindset. You want to get into the best kind of plans. You don't want to just get any plan to make a quick dollar. You want to make the dollars through skill. What percentage wins? 80%, Nathan. Greater than 80%. Well, that has been the case for January anyways. But here's the thing about 80%. Yeah, but I want to make it more clear. So when I mean 80% is that not all of them are going to be big winners. Okay, 80% meaning that even if a gain is a positive gain, so let's say a plan is a break even or it's a positive gain, that is my book considered a win. But then you have huge gain, like 300% gains in an option, like in Amazon or BA, like I have that demonstrated, right, Nathan? That's still a win. That's a win, right? But then that's a bigger win. It's the big wins that you catch properly that really pay the bills. It's not the small gains, but the small gains could lead to the big gains. The problem is if you don't get into something, at least they didn't. And a loss is when sometimes you're taking a small loss. Sometimes we've had a larger loss, but that happens on a small percentage of times. But the big one, because we focus the proper way, we always, because we're taking profits along the way, right? So usually my style is we're taking if you're making 100%, you're taking profits, and then you're holding runners. You might decide to take profits at 80%, 130%, depending on the situation. Sometimes sometimes it's easy to take 150% profits and hold runners. It's so easy. And today, Amazon, it was like the gains were coming at 300%. Easy to take up before taking off. It was very easy to take the 300%. And then I had runners, but the runners turned into a bit more than 100 because it pulled back too much, Amazon. So I had to make an adjustment in the options. And this again was all documented, and I'm going to be showing this inside of PowerTarget Trades, how we handled Amazon to prove my point here. And that's what a lot of services out there aren't doing. They can't do it. First of all, they can't because they don't have these skills. They don't have adaptive thinking. Their plans are all stagnant, and they can't follow on their plans because they're focusing on too many different things. They're not focused. They're not even going into them. They don't care. So when you have no passion about something, how can you really succeed? The best people who succeed in anything, they have a passion towards it, a real passion. You can't succeed at anything without a real passion. So if I'm not really wanting to get into something with a passion, when you're going into something scared, like then you're never going to catch the big gains. Because I've been in positions like that were against us, only to become monstrous gains. We had to hold it because they didn't do anything wrong, but we had to hold it. It wasn't some gains are hard work. We have to actually hold for a bit. Could be sometimes for a few days to a week because it's doing the right things. And we decide, and I've demonstrated this, lately in the group, only for them to be big winners. It's happened in BA where BA starts off being a loser, only to turn into a large winner. In fact, every BA plan I posted since December to now, they've been winners. So far, every single one have been winners. And you tell me, where do you see somebody, and I keep telling this to people, we focus on a small select and get a high win rate. A lot of these services, they're picking 20 picks. And then they're saying, look, we won here, we won here, we won here, but what about all the other ones that you went into that didn't work? Right? Or could you have gotten into all those if you have 20 ideas and though 5 of them were superstars, the other ones were deadbeats? They don't show you that, but I can assure you that that's what's happening. They're going off a numbers game. But my system, the way I do things, it's a lot harder. You have to be more correct, and that's what I'm good at. So I don't need a lot of. I I break it down to the highest probability so I can have everybody more focused. I want to get into this, I want to get into that. I tell the people in the group, and then we focus on that. And I've been showing this for years. I've been showing this to people. Like, I've been showing this. Right? But now we need to go into more of what I'm going to be explaining is that more of a management thing idea that I have. And I'm going to announce this later on. Right now, I'm kind of demonstrating that in the group of thought processes of putting stops, recommendations, just to demonstrate of why you want somebody to help on your side. You know, even you might like you make a decision whether you want to take a plan. But the nice thing about me is each plan, okay, has a lot of experience behind it, and we're focused. Okay, so you don't have just somebody telling you. There's a lot of experience behind every plan. You know, 20 years experience behind every plan. From my bad ideas to good ideas to the advancements I made. I mean, listen, in February 11, 2016, we had two analyses, one from the world record holder and one from me. And I clearly decimated in analysis skills of where the market was going. The world record holder was calling for the market to go lower. I was calling for it to go higher, and it never looked back from my pivot point. This means my analysis skills is way above. You know, like I said, that guy, he doesn't go into his own plans. So they say, oh, we made this, we made that, but he's even stated that he doesn't go into his, because there's so many fake people out there that they have their success from an easy time, but they're so picky now that they don't even go into things. Because if you have rules, okay, and you say you need certain amount of volume, this and that and that and that and that to happen, and that's not what's happening, and then you just say, oh, it worked, but it never met your rules. My system doesn't work that way. We post confirmation based on an idea, based on it has to act a certain way. Right? Because sometimes it's by the volume and then it's by the price power. Because the volume doesn't come in, comes in later. Right? But when you have... Anyways, I don't want to get into the thing, into those rules, but you got to have a good set of rules that you follow, you know, religiously. You know, like... And there are adaptive rules, and that's another thing. My rules, sometimes we need the volume, we don't need the volume. It's really priced. It depends on the situation. Sometimes you really need the volume. Because sometimes something's going up, but it's just not going up that strong. Right? And I've taken all these factors, I made these comments about that. So the market, it's a constant adaptive thinking. You know, it's the future. Tomorrow is a new day. Okay? Tomorrow hasn't happened. We have all our history data, and then we have proven methods of getting somewhere and signals that we can project things. So it doesn't mean it happens that week or that second week. Sometimes you have to make adjustments. Sometimes it gets faster, it's slower. You follow people. There's always adjustments that need to be made. Always. It's never a smooth thing. Sometimes you got smooth weeks, non-smooth weeks. Smooth months, non-smooth months. So you've got to be, if you're a person that's thinking about the market in a non-smooth way, in other words, the market, you're thinking about how the market was last month, and you're applying that last month's ideas to this month's market, you're gonna miss out on gains. And that's the difference here, people. And that's what a lot of, they can't do this. It's not real. We focus on high probability setups only, from tons of experience behind everything, and an adaptive system. With this kind of mindset, you put the odds in your favor, right? And you know, all the heavy lifting, all the heavy work is being done, but still, one thing comes at everybody's, you still need to take the action, have the faith. And the only way to do that is by really studying what we're doing and following along. I mean, how else do you do it? Like, it doesn't matter how good I say things are until you witness it yourself, until you really study it yourself and get into the group. You won't know for yourself. This is why it's a very unique system I have. You see that, yes, he's right. This is what he's focused on. This is what they did. This is the outcome. You see it over and over, and then you even see it for yourself. You're inside the group. You see that you see everything happen for yourself. You learn. And then I have the retweets and likes, and I have you active and looking at, and then I'm making videos of going over things. You learn like that. But when you don't take the time to do on any of those things that no one in history has ever done for anybody before, no one's done that like this. You have no chance. How are you supposed to succeed when you're your own enemy to yourself? Good. Let me see any other comments here. Yeah, this is a very. I think this is a really good, good live stream. Helpful information. So I don't know. Any questions, people, before I go here, because I'm almost practically there at time. It was very productive, and then it is going to be, every live stream can be different. It's going to be solving a problem, talking about some plans we're in. If you want success, I've in my live stream seems to tell people, if you want success, it's on my stream. You study what I'm telling you. You look for yourself. Don't take my word for it, but look for yourself. Get inside the group. Look at my prior plans. Say why you want to become a member. Show me you're serious. Get in there. Don't take the trades. Follow along. Study along. Then you'll be like, I want to do this. And then, first of all, there's people out there, they don't even have half the health I have. So you got an expert on both metrics, right? These fat, sick, weak traders out there. No. You're not clear-headed, right? You got a mastermind, both health and wealth here, people. That's what I'm demonstrating. Like I'm going to be showing a lot of great things as the years go on. So, and like I said, most people are destined to lose, fail. If you can't get into my group and succeed and follow my rules, you're going to fail in life, guaranteed. I guarantee it. So you heard from me. Like I tell it how it is. You don't follow the rules. You don't take time to study. It's all mapped out for you. All you have to do is see it for yourself, and get the right mindset, and have the belief, and then you're able to make great decisions. You still gotta pull the trigger on all these ideas. You still gotta push the button. I've gone through a lot of videos. Oh, you have? That's great. Which videos have you looked at, Nathan? This is good that you went to the. And by the way, Nathan, let me listen. I want to ask Nathan. This is a very good thing you said that. Shouldn't we put our shattered mind at ease and simply follow you? God bless. Yeah, but you want to listen. You want to follow me. But everything I say, understanding and seeing what I said and why, you can actually learn something from looking at even if you know the outcome, by seeing what I'm saying in the videos, it does help you. It trains you mentally. Yeah, no. So the idea, Nathan. But did you learn? Like, did you see the older plan? You look at everything, even the newest ones, like the really newest ones. So that's what's even currently happening. Like, look at the BA plan, the latest BA plan. Take a look at that video, Nathan. The BA plan. Study those videos, people. I'm making a powerful point in each of these videos. No one's done this. There's nobody out there that can do it like this. They just don't have the skills, the mindset. There's no book that can teach you this. It's something I developed through deep study and observation. Hundreds and I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of hours, crazy amounts of times I spent on. I spent on this. But I have a system that, again, analyzes the best out there. And I prove it. I have it documented. February 11, 2016. I outclassed the world record holder in analysis skills. Simply decimated him. I made him look like an amateur. You know how powerful the market rallied since I made that reversal prediction? with a plan that made great gains, and I followed with 7 additional plans. I haven't seen anybody do anything like that. Nobody. I've seen people fight me, fight the trend, but do what I did, forget it. Forget it. And that's what I'm saying. When you got someone like me on your side, you stack the odds in your favor. A lot of people that just cannot afford out there to go and buy expensive stocks like Amazon, buying 1,000 shares of Amazon, 1,000 shares of Apple, 1,000 shares of BA. But options give you the power that if you have an account, a smaller size account, some people have 100,000, 100K, some people have a 5K. Whether you have 100K or 5K, whatever aside, options could be a great way to really increase. Then, of course, when you have larger accounts, you still want to buy, you want to have shares in some things, but you can only buy so many shares. There's only so many, even within $1 million account, there's only so many stocks you can buy at 1,000 shares a pop. Right? And not many people, not everybody has $1 million, you know what I'm saying? So unless you have multi-million-dollar accounts, right? But what about the people who don't, who have a 5K, 10K, excuse me, 50K, 100K, 200K? You can't put all your money in options, by the way, right? But they're very powerful. Like I said, look, I have well, he's not a member. He's more than a member. But I'll give you an example. A guy who worked with me. True story. I mean, but he was very aggressive, and with 100K account, he was able to make 100K in option in weeks. Some plans in a week. There was a GM plan. He was very aggressive in it. It hit 100K. This one he was very aggressive, and I don't recommend people do that. But I know this why I work with my plans. By the way, all he did was go very large. He just he bought a whole bunch of options. Right, goes very large. And I studied this statistical fact when I was working with that individual. Because right now he's active in the thing, but he's more like doing things for himself with my plans, of course, but with himself. And I don't want to get into the story, but anyways, but the point is we're talking about when there was a time when he was really focused and he was going crazy large on a lot of positions. When he was crazy focused, the gains were, for the size of account, were astronomical. That's what nobody can put. Nobody even who shares they can't do that. Those kind of gains. Oh, no way. And being that accurate too, right? So I know the power of my system, but it's a psychology. Don't forget, it's not always going to look at. Every month isn't going to be the same month. It's not going to be an amazing super gainer month. You're going to have slower months, huge months. You got to take it. You have to adapt with the market, what the market gives you. Some months you have to, you know what I mean? Like it's. Which one are you talking about, Nathan? 300 points off the lows. Which one are you talking about? Amazon? When you say 300 points off the lows? It's 10 o'clock. People ask me good questions. I can talk, blah, 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 blah. SPY. Yeah. But there were a lot of market signals that said this. And that's just why I posted plans like Amazon, BA. I posted those plans. MasterCard. Though, like I said, MasterCard strangely did not perform as well as I wanted it to. It performed, but nothing like Amazon and that's why you can't put everything in one place. But regardless of what we did choose, we had a very high performance and good gains in a small selection. And this is what a lot of people can't do. And they couldn't catch it, and they didn't catch it. That's why we caught our stuff. Like, so there's people they talked about BA, they didn't catch BA. So what good is it? You talk about something, and it was really easy to hold BA. It followed the rules perfectly. So when whoever missed that BA, your mindset, it proves it. A lot of people, they talk people. They can't do it. Because when you're not focused, you're focusing on 10 different ideas or whatever. Or even if you say you're focusing on a few and you still miss out stuff, you know what they are. They're full of it. You know what I'm saying, people? They're just talkers. A lot of talkers out there. Yeah, well, like Victor, the amount of study I have, I mean, all you have to do is basically really follow, be a part of the group, right? And basically, what happens is you still got to pull the triggers. You still want to learn. You still want to understand. You want to learn my style, and you start to learn. You start to even learn how to why to execute something. You can feel it, see it. Just because you're in the group, you're seeing the plans, you're seeing confirmation. It all helps when you get involved, right? Like I don't, that's why I try to educate. I want people to understand why we're doing something, and that's why I make these videos. It's to show people, but it doesn't matter what I'm showing someone new or people who are. It's all good for people to see. It reinforces a point I'm making again and again and again, because we are our own enemies to ourselves, and my system is to annihilate the negativity, focus on the positivity through skill, not guessing and assuming like a lot of people out there. No, I haven't. I haven't, LLY. I haven't because, like I said, Kirithi, we've been focused on other, like this, there's been a lot of good stuff, and I just try to focus on, I got to narrow the list down. And sometimes I'm going to miss plans too, but I'm focusing on catching our plans properly. You know, Amazon is a listen. When Amazon, I've been telling people it's a strong focus, and that's why we made several plans, and we've had some good winners in Amazon, right? So BA still focusing on these key stocks. They still have potential. I mean, the market. I mean, like I said, look at BA. Look at and what. Even though I didn't get into this, and even this was a great trade. There was no way to know this was going to happen. But what it does show people is there's something up. With Goldman Sachs doing that, that's a positive sign for the market, people. So stay tuned for more plans. But I already discussed with my group the big picture for the market, and when we have the banks participating in this manner, the big picture, it helps the big picture even more clearly. We are always adapting and taking information. See, today, for example, people, it's a new piece of information, but people don't look at it. That's a new piece. I would have seen it. We would have looked. I would have been looked at this fact anyway. It wouldn't matter. I didn't need this piece of information, but it's still a piece of information. Goldman Sachs, what it does, what that does, what this does, what that does, and then there's all these things I look at, right? Netflix moved huge earnings tomorrow. Let's take a look. That's good, because then we can get, hopefully we get a nice pop in on all the stocks that should have went up today. Because you know what, the market is the market, right? Let's take a look. So after hours, there's nothing happening here in Netflix. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, it's flat unless the earnings are tomorrow, right? Well, wait a second. Earnings are for Netflix 17th. That's tomorrow. So is the Netflix earnings in the morning or after? Banks have been the laggards. Yeah, but that GS move, Michael, that's tomorrow after hours. Okay, so tomorrow after hours. Okay, Mark could be waiting for that. Yeah, after hours. Okay. Well, it's the 17th, right? Yeah. So I know this already because it's here. It's 17th. I haven't been focusing on Amazon, on Netflix, and I'm not focused on Netflix right now, but it doesn't mean I won't, right? There's plenty, listen, people, with options, there's plenty of opportunities. Plenty of opportunities. I mean, I've been happy with the gains we've been making in Amazon. Back as well for the bank. Yeah. So give people, the bank stocks are strong. Let me tell you something. That's a good sign for, like, I've been saying this. This is my opinion, that the SPY is going to try to test 3,000 this year again. It could happen way before the end of the year, and could do even better. And again, we'll have to make adaptive measure. Right now, we're getting more of the signals, right? I already had confirmation signals weeks ago of this powerful market reversal. A lot of people think that the market's just going to rise up and then maybe flop. Not so. See, that could happen, but that's a guessing and assuming. You have to look at all the factors. The market gives new piece of information. How do you make an assumption like that? What I've said my assumption so far, we're going to have a higher market. End of the year, higher market. However, we need to assess the market as we go along. And right now, everything's look at the new information of the bank stock. That's a powerful information we got from the bank stock. The odds are favoring what I'm saying, higher SPY towards the end of the year. Where people like the stock clown who've been bearish the market since SPY 225 are still wrong. They're guesses, they're assumers. These people don't have any skill, people. So the bank's doing good, people. Good news. We're going to make lots of great gains, people. See, people are coming in now. People, it's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now it's 10 p.m. my time. 10 p.m. The stream is over. You know, I'm actually 7 minutes over time. And more people come into the live stream. I don't know why people don't understand. 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Canada. You got to look it up your time. My time is different than if you're in the U.S. Depends where you are in the U.S. Sometimes it's the same as the Canada. You got to see if wherever you are in the world, it's a different time. You got to look at what time is my time for Canada, Eastern Standard Time, at 9 p.m. You have to look at this time, people. See, for Nathan, I remember you, Nathan, 5 a.m. Yeah, early in the morning. I mean, some people they get up 5 in the morning. By the way, you know that's what's time. You know, I get up pretty early in the morning. You know, my mornings start around 5:30, 6 a.m. It depends, something like that. That's why I gotta cut it off. I'm going to sleep, people. You know what I'm saying? I'm very regimented what I do. I do this at this time. I gotta be very regimented. Get the exercise in. Do all the right things you gotta do. Health, wealth. See, you got wealth, but you don't got your health. You got nothing in life, and you can't even be your true best when you don't protect the one thing you have is your health. And then again, I'm an expert at that. I can help with that as well, people, right? So I'm not just going to help people for their wealth. So you have some good money, good invest. When you're making some money from listening to me, don't forget to invest in yourself. Don't think that your health. Don't think that bad thing. Don't make the mistake to wait till you're sick. If you're a little bit sick, you're a little bit off, you have a bit of a belly, little pouch, you got to do something right away. Don't wait to become a 300-pounder or overweight 40 pounds. Have a little pop belly like the stock clown and skinny arms. Skinny arms, far belly. I couldn't see that guy with the clown. I swear, if he would go on camera, he'd put on you would see him. He'd take off his shirt, you would see a little belly with skinny arms. Have a good night. Skinny arms, skinny legs, pop belly. That's right. I guarantee you the stock clown would have that. Now, listen, people. The stock clown, I don't like the guy, right? That guy, I don't like him. But what I'm getting is that there are people that are skinny fat. People think people are, no, they're skinny fat. Listen, skinny is no good because you're weak, You get a little sick, you're like gone, right? Skinny is no good. Fat's no good. Skinny fat's no good. Strong, healthy. Now me, you're truly the leader. I represent top 3% in the world, and I'm mastering it. And I'm going to lead in that because a lot of people who even achieve something like what I'm doing aren't doing it correctly. They are doing it unhealthily. And I know this from deep experience. Everything I do, I study deeply. Like I study the markets deeply, which is a very difficult discipline. I still study the health deeply. That's my passions. Health and wealth. That's been my passion. I was with the market, 18 years old. I tell the story. I've been into these two things. I've been in working out, health since 20. Like I have so much experience in these two metrics, health and wealth, which is what a lot of people have a difficulty. The majority have. Listen, this is a health epidemic out there. Epidemic. I'm the master of all these things. In fact, if people would listen to what I say, word for word, which not everyone, it's got to have the right mindset. They would have to close down hospitals. goes down. Never going to happen, right? Because the mindset. You gotta want it. You know, one thing in life is everything I wanted. I wanted to be the best me. I obsessed to be the best I could be for me, in a healthy manner, by the way. That's all. And in the market, I just love studying the market. I would study the market all the time. Passion. That's the key to success. Passion and loving something. And I happen to have great interest in what's really important in life. Because all the money in the world doesn't, and you don't have your health. I mean, you ask Steve Jobs that question, right now. Would he wish he had done something better with his health? And how much more could he have accomplished if he had his health and lived another 40 years? To ponder. Something to think about. Because a healthy mindset, a healthy person's aptitude and abilities, especially if they're successful, are enhanced with age as well. When you get older, with health, they are enhanced. But a lot of people who are in stardom, their health deteriorated. You take like Elvis Presley, a singer, right? Deteriorated from success, deteriorated. You've seen him as great as whatever, but broken down individual. Again, health. Understand? Can't achieve. It's like almost all. You look at the person, but they went down to nothing, and all avoidable, but they didn't know how to control their health. Big no-no. So go out with a bang. There's some people, they live so well. Anyways, people, enough of that. Good night, Nathan. I keep talking. I'm very passionate what I talk about, people. A lot of belief in what I'm saying. Study, people. Come to the live streams. We'll talk about stuff. And it'll grow on you. All the things I say, you'll see that it's true, and it grows on you, and you change, and you become a better person. Have a good night, people. And make sure you come to the live streams, other people. There's other new people that come in here. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Study, people. Study. And I'll be doing another live stream. Make sure to come. Ask questions. Good questions, and I try to answer them in the limited time that we have. All right, people. And it's going to be on all live streams. You should study them. They're all helpful. Everything I do is to help everybody become their best through the facts and the truth. Have a good night, people.